Episode for higher juicy news. We ma ubibia akwaba had the latest hot nkwa era me bremo. Enuti so nya subscribe to channel dia bomodi as obe subscribe. The way I say we click the subscribe button no. Na wabele notification no. We understand video fufuru bi be upload no. When the first person onsa ebeka sa video afi we na like video no. Give us a thumbs up. Na fe shema wo fufuro na wenye bi hwe na wo hu ensem ekoso e wo Ghana memu hanom afe ye hwe ye ensem abeto ye no so yenti sa report ya ababeto dwa sansem mu yenti.
The reason why at the NPP they don't want us to talk about ECG containers ayira ECG equipment on say na say videos be around manfo hu say ECG cables yakọ dampen wo insawam aduagiri Anno Dompreh mameka bibi nkyerɛ mo Anno Dompreh saa nyoma na muhu no ne constituency nya ne dia tie saa ECG equipment cables poles now before me de mo bɛkɔ ECG story no me pɛ me bie mo adwene na muhu bibi first now muntie Kennedy Agyapong time ɔkɔ PZ kɔ kasa muntie ne ye pa ɔka ECG nsɛm bi ye wie bebuta question na afei ma kyerɛ mo ECG no omo bom krono no. The reason why MPP for one person beka ECG no asem. The reason why Afenyo Markin has stayed away from the ECG matter. Anything Afenyo Markin in parliament can say, yen nyina yenya baako ne solve ECG problem. No. Omo wi amono, omo wi Ghana no MPP for. Na mo me enko back kakra. Na yen tie Kennedy Agyapong okọ PZ no, oka bibi fa ECG. Ensam ho polls ho, me wi a mebie wani wa ade bi ho.
Suppose na mo pay any cables wires some de begusu a very simple ye ni abemu enso metimi ama ministry of energy as supply mo sa cables in speed line me kwa kohwe me warehouse ni ma hwe suppose post no me will be gua. As for street light in here, my friend me a setting, some street light. It may call no matter warehouse. So even I go. Some here. Some here, nessa Ministry of Energy, a better. Me anka some top post, you know. Edi abram enti se sikana mde bae no se ne amachire magnenti e wa brantie wo minso gaji ya diskane be yadwuma menyo eto ehye me bottom Cecilia temptation e beba no
now Kennedy call PZ no o kan sembi o say suppose any cables na mo pa any de enye easy enye din kra easy job. In fact, now buy ni power. Nanso obetumi afa ways be my Minister of Energy no at the poles any cables ni bia bromo. Nempo se minister ne kraka se onya ono ankasa our warehouse our poles any cables gum. In fact, I say wa check it. Or you very sure say street light there obebreguo. Kennedy Agyapong. Remember, ne lawyer ne Afenyo Markin. Afenyo Markin on a board chair of ECG. Now, Kennedy Agyapong, in the past, your man a contract to supply electricity lights. Street lights. Ever since there, we are yet to see the full complement of Nyoma supply. Ever since there, Kennedy Agyapong Jisika on a company ni Jisika. Ever since there, the supplying of those street lights no ever seen there you. Now an MP who is not the Minister of Energy comes to tell you say our warehouse ECG posts gum, our warehouse street lights gum, and that he will be going to bring those poles and street lights. Mumusa Kennedy Agyapong say your man yere any or no contract say on supply street lights no or to me supplier na. Dabi. Yenye street lights now on supply no ene oho ana. In fact, the poles now say a good warehouse any street lights in a good warehouse no ye busan said okotoya for den ehin na onya no our ECG contract bi ana yes our millions of ECG contractor may they be very soon. You see, these people, they have played on your conscience and done everything to indirectly take it from you without you people knowing. Also, and the onwankasa general catcher must say, poles, street lights, any sign your manyomano, or will be. Now the question is, yenim ni krom, asem dumpim, light kurabini ho. That means the street lights ne guono, poles ne guono. Ya pese Kennedy Agyapong chere baby okoto ni nyina afriye. Ya pese o chere baby a onya sa light ni nyina. Now, sa video na mo hu na mama ko hu eye cables, any poles e won nsawe mu no. Eye Anno Dompreh na me be chere the connection. Anno Dompreh work with this stolen eye containers. Any the role I will play in these stolen containers, any ECG materials. On sa video way, it's making it's on circulation all social media. Watch this video very well. Sign your mama copy no Anno Dompreh constituency in the war.
No, not be a buy a honey intina. Anno Dompreh. I say it in ba. Never more shiny. Shiny. Because
Omogana.
Meka just o papa mbobra. Papa mbobra and so ane papa. Do say an ekoso. Yeah. Enti ha area mo nipa kwante ya. Nipa anti anti o ma da sa na ma we nyina koso o ma hu an o report to na nkofo anti ki action. Ah.
So the company no run.
Pay on the other side in this. And it go to Ghana. We let it go on.
Expo. 2024. It's a fresh crowd.
Ah, fresh crowd. Fresh crowd.
And yes, sir, estatively with Badia. People will pass out. But if you say you'll be camping.
Oh, yeah.
You also to me found some funny machine never found. And I will be good
so Anno Dompreh constituency post we are not Dompreh there. Now me be show how we are ECG cables, street lights, posts. Remember, Peter Mbewu be catch say abain MPP abain Emma Kennedy Agyapong a street light contract 100 million or supply one supply he kept it. Amewu Nebeka said they gave Kennedy Agyapong, ECG Kennedy Agyapong, 100 million contracts, street lights. It ended Kennedy Begina PZ. No, catch them say our street lights be breguo, or polls bebrigua, they know what they are telling you. Because ECG street light belongs to the government of Ghana. Kennedy Agyapong contractor the man, no, was he able to supply all the poles and street lights? No. And internet oye bold okojina PZ. Me was street lights go. In fact, my friend, a warehouse, a gum. Because ECG, you know, they were running it as friends. Now, I'm make sure the link. At the Kudientia, you see these people, the MPP are quiet on the ECG matter. And internet Afenyo Markin, Kasongo 99, until say, what can ECG assembly BM unadekro? He is guilty. Investigations say koso. They know some of them. ECG are their way. The time of movie investigations, so the NPP will not have a front in parliament. The NPP in parliament, they will not have a front. That is the reason why the NPP minority in parliament, they have moved away from the ECG issue. Argentina NPP and your press conference kakraka about the ECG. So NDC is accusing them of something. Why do you think they have stayed away from the ECG matter? Argentina NPP fonka ECG no. Argentina, they have stayed away from the conversation. It is because they know that their main men are the ones who committed the crime. Now, let's go into the books. You see this. And the strategy they put together, and interest was study Anno Dompreh on can ECG no one semu on can want some cry. But Anno Dompreh, do you know, say he was on the board of ECG? Do you know? The minority chief whip, Habib, do you know he was also on the board of ECG? The minority leader, Afenyo Markin, these people. Come out. Do you know these three people who are leading the MPP today in Ghana? The minority. All these three people were on the board of ECG. Yeah. Crime now moving in our ECG. From the board now, I'm taking that decision now, mu cables, more lights, mu bibiano. These three people who are leading the MPP today in parliament, all these three people were on the board of ECG. Time my issue when you know AC, Anno Dompreh was on the board, Afenyo Markin was on the board, and Habib Idrisu, the minority chief whip, he was also on the board. It is a minority in parliament. If they have refused to speak on this ECG matter, then it means they are front. They know the three of them, they can all end up in jail. Now let's go back and I'm show how they did the plan and why they are quiet. These are dangerous people. You never listen to MPP or anybody speaking for MPP. Because you see, party, it's a disease. Now let's go back. You're starting free. You see, in 2022, NAPO, in 2022, NAPO was the energy minister. Me Tróuble be a plan free. In 2022, NAPO was the energy minister. The deputy energy minister, Ejapa Mesa. And the second deputy, near friend Williams Owusu Edu. Now, when you go to ECG board, Tamana NAPO energy minister now, it was Kennedy Agyapong. The MD of ECG was Dubik Mahama. And then Anno Dompreh was a board member of ECG in 2022. Did you know? Yeah. Anno Dompreh today is the minority leader, deputy minority leader in parliament for the NPP. He is deputy to Afenyo Markin. So in 2022, at the Kudientia want to say Anno Dompreh ECG no one omunya press conference. The front of the NPP, they have moved away from that conversation is because they were the ones who orchestrated the crime. In 2022, now Anno Dompreh was sitting on the board of ECG. All the decisions that were being taken, Anno Dompreh was part of it. And you do not think, say, NPP, Afenyo Markin quickly coming out to tell you, say, Ghanaians, let us all solve the ECG problem as a nationalistic thing. Obwa, they are the ones who did the damage. They are the ones who connived and teamed up our ECG boss and ECG to destroy a ECG. Intusha NAPO Energy Minister 2022. Ejapamesa Deputy Energy Minister and Mr. Edu Second Deputy. Now ba ECG boss na Kennedy Agyapong na yawo Dubik Mahama as the MD of ECG and Anno Dompreh. Now here. Now when you come to 2023, something happened. In 2023, changes were made. Remember, this is the same group. And the Omokacho said Dumusaba Monso Kaniano. Mamen Chamo. Sa video na buko uno eye in Sawadu Ejino. Sanyo many nina Anno Dompreh. He stole it from ECG. Because he was on the board of ECG. Yeah. 2023. In the year 2023, NAPO and a energy minister. And na omuchenji ejapamesa. And omude obi a friend Herbert Krapper ebe share as deputy. Remember, 2022, ejapamesa was the deputy to NAPO. Omuba 2023 no, and omuchenji ejapamesa and omude Krapper ebe share. And they maintained the second deputy minister, Edu, as energy ministry. Into NAPO state, they changed Ejapamesa and the Krapper, Herbert Krapper Besheho, and maintaining second deputy energy minister. Now, over ECG in 2023, did anything happen? In 2023, Kennedy Agyapong was still there. Herbert Dubik Mahama was still there as the MD. Anno Dompreh in 2023 was still a member of the ECG board. Or a criminal guy. And it just won't say ECG as some Wakembi. That is why they have moved. That is why they don't want that conversation to go on. That is why today you don't see them having press conferences to be demanding ECG containers na irano because polls na cables na a fire. And you see, it's so interesting. Say it is the leadership of the minority today. They were the people who were sitting on the board of ECG. Now, when Ejapa was taken out, Ayade Herbert Krapper, something also happened. In 2024, Herbert Krapper, he was acting as the board chair March 2024. Herbert Krapper na obey deputy to NAPO. He became the acting board chair of ECG. Inti the same time now oya deputy to NAPO. He became the acting board chair of ECG. Efrisena Kennedy Agyapong in March 2024 had resigned. Inti they brought Herbert Krapper from the ministry to be the acting board chair of ECG board. In 2024 March, na Anno Dompreh was still on the board of ECG. Now, Dubik Mahama was still in post, was still at post because March 2024, na Dubik Mahama resigning yet. Na why not resigning? Kennedy Agyapong. Into Omo Movie Krapper, who was the deputy energy minister, they made him the acting board chair of ECG. Into Saosha, changes now, Bano, Krapper or top, Krapper or down. He was acting as board chair and also the deputy minister in 2024 March. Team. Krapper be a board chair acting when Kennedy Agyapong resigned as the board chair of ECG. It is still Anno Dompreh is constant from 2022, 2023, 2024. Anno Dompreh was on the board of ECG. Into all the decisions that were being taken, Anno Dompreh was sitting in there. NAPO was in there. Dubik Mahama was in there. Now Krapper abe some substitution be which is not permanent. Now Akufo Addo would need a board chair for ECG because Kennedy Agyapong has resigned. Krapper is a deputy energy minister. He's acting as the board chair of ECG. Into MPP4 had to make some changes because they needed their cartels still to control ECG. So what did they do? This was in March 2024. So that time NAPO and MBF running mate to Edian Abozege. NAPO was still the substantive energy minister. Don't get it wrong. March, NAPO da who is substantive energy minister. Now this is what happened. Make sure be a problem ni free. And into the MPP, they are not speaking about the ECG issue, no, because on front are criminals. They will all go to jail. Investigations are still ongoing. That is why they are mute. Now, I'm not sure there. Now, in November, you see, in November 2024, Satana Napo Eko Wakwaye running mate ama dey ama eye ama eye MPP ama Bawumia into Napo left as the energy minister. Now what they did was that they brought Krapa back to become the substantive energy minister. And the second deputy minister the deputy. Now when it comes to the ECG boss, they moved Afenyo Markin to become the ECG board chair. And then this man called Kwabena Agyapong, ECG MD, because November, not Dubik Mahama so resigning. Kennedy Agyapong echo March. Dubik Mahama so echo close to elections, September thereabout. They needed a new MD for ECG. Omdi Afenyo Markin share as the board chair of ECG. They brought another person to replace Dubik Mahama. And what happens? They brought the deputy chief whip. Time na omo parliament, omo power no. Na acquire friend Habib Idrisu. Not or your majority chief whip. Not or your third to Afenyo Markin. They brought that guy to be on the board of ECG. Technically, Anno Dompreh has been on ECG boards for about 3 years. Now, you're changing Kennedy Agyapong resigning. Krapa Ako as a substantive minister because Napoko running mate. And the Afenyo Markin abeshaw. Now you ask, say, why na shame fino? Dubik Mahama soko into the wine about Kwabena. Now Kwamena. Now, share baby a trick in all. The reason why you are not seeing Anno Dompreh here and say, Afenyo Markin was the board chair of the road fund. Now what they did was that they moved Anno Dompreh from the ECG board to go and take over at the road fund, and they brought Afenyo Markin from the road fund to be the board chair of ECG. Now you see the trick. So Anno Dompreh for about 3 years has been on the board of ECG. Now they still needed their campaign in the front, one of them to come and handle ECG board. They had to take Anno Dompreh to substitute Afenyo Markin from the road fund board for Afenyo Markin to come here as a substantive board chair of ECG. Anno Dompreh left around November 20. He left before the elections to go ahead the road fund. Anything I won't say Habib Abeshaw. So follow what they did. It was a simple chess they were playing with you. The NPP as we speak today. Now let me show you this. Obi Obeka say there are some people who have doubt about these people. Now you see, Anno Dompreh joins ECG board July 30th, 2021. And I almost swear Anno Dompreh in as a board member of ECG. Ntebia, Ojin sa sama ye kano, ye kan dia hye Anno Dompreh kon. No. Sa post na mu na adwejire no. Anno Dompreh dia. Or a lot of them, Kennedy Muobi, Afenyo Markin Muobi, they have stolen everything from the container. Inti say uko back to look at what actually happened now. Sa Habib and Afenyo Markin, they all came into the ECG or joined the ECG board in July 2024. Sanko for me and say we are only the MPP or parliament, no, they are the ones who destroyed ECG. These three criminals. It's ECG problem now. Yeka na nkofobia dina MPP form person mekasa oma dino. It is Habib who is the minority chief whip, Afenyo Markin who is also the minority whip, and then Anno Dompreh who is also the minority chief whip. Only Afenyo Markin who is now the minority leader. These three people are the ones that almost the ECG cause shares our problem. That is why ECG container theft in the buy, they were saying, oh, wait there, a national issue. We should all come together and solve it. The Ben out is Anno Dompreh aka ECG asam nubi. Waka wasam. Have you heard him speak on it? Have you ever heard this Habib guy speak on the ECG container theft? Afenyo Markin ebeka kire say, oh, guys, let us all come together as a people. No. Videos now muhuno. In some Kennedy Kano, these people are the people who containers in our free ports. Almost setting up a company. Yeah, this is when Habib Idrisu was basically made some evidence, no. But they are not done pray the achiremo. Okay. Habib was sworn in, Habib Denini, by NAPO. Habib and Afenyo Markin were sworn in by NAPO, the energy minister, to go sit on the ECG board in July 2024. So the MPP you are seeing right now, front, no, leadership, no, they are criminals. They are the corporates. ECG container theft now, that is why the NPP leadership, they have refused to speak on it. Investigations, they know that some of them will go to jail. And they don't even want to do press conference. Their communicators are not speaking on it. Social media, no, they don't want to speak on these things because the leadership may say NDC person will break MPP. I mean, good party, no. Afenyo Markin is still begging behind the scenes. Afenyo Markin is begging. Habib, Anno Dompreh, Afenyo Markin. These three criminals, these guys. Now, let me show you also on ECG website. They published it. Now, when you read ECG Ankasa website, what they wrote there, my man one kind. So if you saw all about Mr. Afenyo Markin succeeded Mr. Krapa, who has been appointed as Minister of State at the Ministry of Energy. Mr. Krapa's elevation to his ministerial role was approved by Parliament after his nomination by President Akufo Addo. Previously, Mr. Krapa served as the Deputy Minister for Energy. Before his new appointment, Mr. Afenyo Markin chaired the Ghana Road Fund. With his transition to the ECG board, Majority Chief Whip Anno Dompreh will assume the role of board chairman of the Ghana Road Fund. Consequently, Mr. Dompreh will step down from his position on the ECG board, a role that will now be taken over by Deputy Majority Whip in Parliament, Habib Idrisu. This is on the website of ECG. I did not publish this. Inti, when you take your time and analyze the air now, the reason why the NPP as a political party are not speaking, the leadership of the NPP are not speaking on the ECG theft na air no sa post na mbrante no ko hu no any cables na enane no Afenyo Markin Anno Dompreh Habib Idrisu. They are the ones, these three people, these are the three criminals who want you to believe, say, oh, you know something, ECG, these are the people who did the crime. The MPP, they are despicable. Makacha must say, when you would send in stadium, JJ Rollins, the catcher, Mogana for Sanko for you, for anytime you say, oh, my name is social media, did him attempt, did Mahamadu Bawumia this year. Me say, in Tiana Day, young Ghanaian could MPP, Chiana. Yanko Tróuble my MPP, then yenye. They are substituting the leadership at ECG board. Inti, so study ECG problem no 2022 and Anno Dompreh must start here. Odidi one Afenyo, remember Afenyo Markin or Kennedy Agyapong lawyer. Kennedy lawyer ni Afenyo Markin. Kennedy nya 100 million contract from ECG. Remember Anno Dompreh, those times a majority chief whip, no, he was on the board. So he influenced Kennedy Agyapong in his contract. No? Remember, Kennedy Agyapong, lawyer, Afenyo Markin or minority leader, became the board chair. Do you know the contract Kennedy got at ECG when Afenyo Markin became the board chair? I will show you. The latter part of Afenyo Markin and MPP government. Do you know the contractor Afenyo Markin the market Kennedy Agyapong or ECG? Kennedy Agyapong no nyo biao. Mami ka bi nchiremo. You people have no idea, eh? Kennedy Agyapong. Time na Akufo free office no. Na Akufo bind the Kennedy Agyapong ka 23 million Ghana. 23 million Ghana. John Mahamadu Kennedy Agyapong be Kennedy Agyapong. Mushe ni bia mumbusa no. And it's na me hu no say a despicable human being. Kennedy Agyapong, Kufo time, Mumbusano. Contract also nya in the first contract 23 million Ghana. That is 20 bunkan year no. Time Akufo so mo ntua Kennedy Agyapong sa sika no. But it was a contractor Kufo mama Kennedy yeah. Now when power changed, Atta no, it was John Mahama as the vice president. And Kennedy Agyapong then documents Betchero say he has actually done some work for Kufo. And that legitimately, why Jumano? That was the time Kennedy Agyapong about politics. Every single day, Kennedy Agyapong was going to the vice president office showing his documents. Say, if Mahama Dems don't help pay legitimate job he has done, Kennedy Agyapong was going to go to jail because not the bank's car. You people have no idea. That guy is a despicable thief. Or you need to be on kaya die. Enti Kennedy Agyapong betina TV to say, Yenshi Mahama, Yenku Mahama, or Yakwasiana Kennedy no where me time. I saw nimu nyansa. Kofo na odi Kennedy ba politics mina ombe wie sika no. They did not pay Kennedy. John Mahama the leader here catch and say, we have gone through your contract. It looks like legitimately. You were given this legit contract. You supply the things and that you have to be paid. John Mahama and then making sure the right thing is done. No illegality. Kofo himself did not pay Kennedy. But John Mahama saw to it say, a Ghanaian has supplied electricity equipment to Ghana government. And that he deserves to be paid because I'm a foreigner. So John Mahama and the lady Kennedy and making sure say he has gone through the process. Atta looked at it. They made sure say everything is legitimate. Ono mutianeka. Kwasi awe tweet na TV say enko Mahama nkuno. Mumbusano, mo amobe no mumbusano. Do you know the things we know? There are so many things we don't tell you people. In this Ametrana Makacham say, don't ever think about the MPP. Oma Juni Nyejuma. Omo ye wudi for MPP Omo Jimmy. They don't care about anybody. It is what they will get. It is what they will get today. There are people who kill and laugh about it. They have nothing like sympathy or empathy. They don't have it, that thing. I don't hate Obi or MPP, but I keep telling people, say, that party, the leadership, Sankofowe are not people to be trusted. But sometimes, because we try to let Ghanaians understand from the education we give them. And the Kennedy in Ghana said, yeah, he's a changed man. Me say, Mumbuta Kennedy Agyapong asem way. Okasa me boa, I'll quit this job. Mumbusa na asem way. So okasa me boa, I'll quit this job. Kennedy Agyapong ultimate jina baby ankasa me boa. John Mahama made Kennedy Agyapong who he is today. He didn't have a dime. John Mahama made Kennedy who he is today. He was just oyo hieni ofia broche ba no niska. Ko forma modern ba oba kura ba politics oko eye asen ho omoko chiche bu command seat no. Kennedy did not have a dime. Onisika ye dey business Kennedy Agyapong. John Mahama mo and making sure that our contract now Akufo Addo and Akufo no our contract was secure. They paid him his due because he had done the contract. And no na Kennedy best starting yeska. Also nyaska way. Also average no yet 3 jobs. A day don't make it $2,000. Now just average this guy is a liar. He had nothing. Or you're just ungrateful. Akwa to Net2 TV say John Mahama. John Mahama gave you crumbs to eat. John Mahama on the top pan or to form and I don't get my fire sabwa. John Mahama did that for you. There's so many things you Ghanaians don't see. You don't know. Say a banner bekano credit chema. Ayana Montia say it is not personal. We want Ghanaians to understand say the NPP as a political party are not supposed to come close to power again. Now, Yanko Enim, but don't send me anything. Now you have an idea of ECG. What they have done. And the ECG conversation, you do mukania. Monga say MPP form me and Sawi, Mumusa say, Intinamo ECG board so. And in some way, remember, NAPO and head your NAPO was the energy minister. He basically did that substitutions near daddy. They knew what they were doing. And then NAPO never got $2 million worth of condensate. Condensate, or say evaporate NAPO. $2 million worth of condensate. Ayra. Yeti krom ha. Kwasi ampe ne hwene se phone no ene nam Ghana kan kwasi asem aden ayama ne be president. Adentia so your this year. Now your this year mu fie. Udi hini wo busu fie o. So your this year, o your this year wo krom. Onya this year o Ghana. Eba amemu a, eba governance a, MPP, mumuni what is governance. Ahini na moya ade. Yan so hini we, yan kokoma hini we, yan ko defend hini we. Eno na yemo dwuma. Na eba oman chichere a, you people have no idea about governance. Ahini chichere, and I'll give it to you. Yanko sumo hini way, yanko you hini way aye, yanko dada hini way, yanko you be any day I'll give it to you. You are good at chieftaincy nonsense. But when it comes to governance, you people have no idea about governance. And then they be a person motia siena na mu jimi mo ho, mum MPP fo ni bi mu jimi mo ho. Se mo be se ahini ne to so aba, mo ma yehu ne amfa constitution no, ne ento ahemfo so aba so Ghana. If that is what you people want to do, bring it up. But when it comes to the holistic development and building of this nation, the NPP has no knowledge about building a nation. These are tribal bigots enshrined in their foolishness who think, say, we as Ghanaians, we need to consider baby obu free and sana ye bumai. And yes, sana di bumai. We are not going to allow that again. And that does not mean obi mu ana ombu obusia ana ombu hene ohene bia ni Ghana eto no so aba. So I don't give a heck about ohene. What I give a heck about is the constitution and the person we as Ghanaians democratically have voted for to lead us to govern this nation. That is what I care about. I don't give a shit about ohene bia o Ghana, because ohene na wudi no enye ye nyina ye to aba ma o e obusuafo ne siwu. So whatever you get unyama obusuafo unyama Ghana. It is a Ghana mine kurama wadwuma se di na so your hine na ompese obedi ajai, because you are not there to work for Ghana. At the end of the day, Ghana does not pay you. In the so your hine wa Ghana now your hine mankam gurugu o your hine wa bikroma anwona wukrom o your hine wa infantimemu asantimemu na o mine ma wadwuma na so wonya. You have the right to stop aden, because enya onkwa na obeye dwuma Ghana. You can sit home for people who want to work. That is how it works. Inti obi ankotwa ne be ma meka se yesrew ohini we yama wadwuma inti uso onya. It is your right, because we busuafo no musi ohini no omo nsi ohini se kodi asem e wa bontene di ufi asem. Inti if you think say ufi asem no na betumi abo akekere wo man, sit there and deal with it. Obiansha obia enya force in Ghana. And these people, everybody should get this in their head. Ghana problems bebre ebi mo ha yaka ho asem eko aba, yaka ho asem eko aba. Nothing has changed. Ghana problems bebre reoccurring problems. Yaka ho asem nde ochina na asaba, yaka ho asem nde ochina na asaba. So there's nothing new that we have not seen under the sun. People are making us think, say, and the problem that was there yesterday, today, some extraordinary something can change. No, we need to, as we move forward, try and solve our problems. Into Ghana's solution does not lie in anybody's hand. It does not lie in any individual's hand. It does not lie in any clan's hand. Ghana's problems lies in our hands to solve. It is a only say problem, no. Edosuma untumia sit side, another Ghanaian will take over. That is how you build this nation. Nobody's entitled. President na yeyi ne kurampo no at a point of to me say wagina home wabre or ko leave. Now I am to swaba. What is your problem? You can choose not to do whatever you want to do. President na ya to swaba na ye the taxes to ano at a point or to me ko leave. Or to me jamani to so wabre or ko gina home. Now why am to swaba? So I don't see why anyone should be worried. Say President Afenyo Markin ofra wonne se bedi dwuma bi na wo hwe na se sa dwuma no emfaso ni so a jai sa wo gi sa dwuma no na mfiri wakoma mu a wo na wo ha wo ho na se wankasa wo ye president na koa. So if you think say president ma wo dwuma bi se kodi na se wo ye Ghana ni na edwuma na wo kodi no wankasa emwa wo eni wakoma mu a, tell the president that is not my responsibility. Especially when you are not the only person in Ghana who can do that. It is right to do that. That is how it works. Nobody's entitled. Ghana's problem cannot be solved by one person. Problems are echo Ghana home. Like Edum, in Suashoto, in Tokwesi. It has been going on and on and on. And yeni etima de dan team. Yania kind and rana, Yania never can in there. So what is the difference? Nothing is going to change. We have to forge forward. We need to find solutions to our problems. And if you're Ghanaian and you're willing to help Ghana, you need to join the masses to help solve our problems. But so I will say, be a problem no, and yadia obetuma yet problem no. Why you be paying too much? Ghana president how? Ghana for how? Miracle Ghana for mama jumebi na mean to me ya menye. The US government mama jumebi na mean to me ya. I will tell them mean to me yet. So every Ghanaian has the right to say ejuma way Mr. Ramo mean to me yet, especially when you are not paid. Ejuma yentia okade opere wako ya eden. Stop it.
Yo, it for winning and someone about beto yepuno so Mikao say so when you subscribe to channel idea bomodi say obe subscribe. Now I like video to give us a thumbs up, nafi share ma wo fufro so na we be here now and somewhere koso ewo Ghana memoir. Also wait me otchere wadwen afa yes some we nyira ho ewo comment box ni mu mobeti nkabio in my next video.
Thanks for watching. Like and share the video. You can also drop your comment. Please don't forget to subscribe. Click on the bell to turn on the notification.